Good evening, everyone. Ted here. This is take 2. What did I forget? I forgot to turn the power on for my microphone. There you go. And when I plug it in, it turns the camera microphone off. Thank you for being with me tonight. Time, I'm not sure. It must be about 7:15 or so. You can hear the wind blowing in the trees here. And I had just looked at my anemometer, and it's from northwest. We are enjoying a nice sunny clear evening. The temperature has dropped down a bit from our daytime high, so it's not too bad. My apologies for not being with you recently. Between the poison ivy keeping me far away from any woodlots, then it was the heat. Intense heat in the 30s centigrade with I'm going to say between 79 and 97% humidity was making the heat index in the low 40s. Too much for me. I just can't tolerate it. I was born in southwestern Ontario where they get a lot of that, and going home to visit was always a torment for me. Just a bit wimpy, I guess you could say. But anyway, so tonight I thought I would pop out here and let you know I'm thinking of y'all, have been. And my thanks to those who commented on my video in regards to what to do with my SVEA 123 as far as a cook kit. If you recall, I had mentioned that I needed to find something. And I had 2 or 3 good comments. One, and I always forget, the computer's in the house, to write down the names of the person and what suggestion they gave me. And that's happened to me again tonight. And why not forget from night? I forgot to start the microphone, so that's a good hint for you, right? Anyway, I did, in my desperation, so to speak, I knew the 123 fits inside of these canisters from Walmart. If you remember, it's pop the lid, fold it back. It's got a silicone seal around it. You pinch here, the 2 pieces, they come out of the holes and your lid's off, and it's safe to put it on a fire. I'm not going to take the lid off. Well, why not? Let's see if it'll come off for me tonight. No. That's the way of it. Sometimes... Okay, so there it is. I even have a spare lid because I took one off, but I damaged the band here, and therefore, so much for that. So, anyway, I went to Walmart because I didn't have one of these that was empty. This is a 1.4 liter, 42 or 45, and looking upside down here, but anyway, 47 ounce. And there you have it. Watching my neighbors walk by, a husband and wife enjoying an evening stroll. Okay, so what else did I do? Well, I put the holes here and the opposite side, a notch here with a small chainsaw file, so it's got a rounded notch for the bail instead of a square one. Okay, the cloth, always, you got to clean up somehow. Now, I did not put my scouring pad sponge in. Okay, so instead of the pot that came with it, if you recall, with a little handle, I've got a GSI. I think most of us have seen, used, whatever. There's a GSI, there's a Walmart one that's mighty close to being the same. My only complaint with that, of course, like everybody else's, is it doesn't have any measurement markings on it, but I haven't got around to doing anything about that. Okay, so now the stove is sitting inside of a heavy-duty freezer bag. so that if it does perchance leak, it will not contaminate the pot. The advantage of this kit, of course, is there you go, 1.4 liter pot and a mug. Now, I'm thinking it's 20 ounces, not sure on that. I just know if I'm going to make a mug of coffee in it, I put in 2 coffee pouches and I don't fill it full. Okay, so here we have what I've stuffed inside. Okay, and I'll open up the pot supports. Okay, book of paper matches, piece of good old straw, okay, this is a smaller light my fire ferrocerium rod. It fits in from GSI. I forget the proper name for the little gripper. So no problem, we can pick up the hot pot, because I normally forget, I can't put in the pot grippers, you know, with the aluminum ones in this kit. It doesn't fit. Okay, now, and of course we have the wrench. So it all fits in there. It works well. Now, I went camping last week, one night. It was supposed to be 2 nights. I booked a campground for. Thunderstorm, we got 1 3/4 inches of rain. Needless to say, I didn't go that night. I waited till the next morning afternoon. Okay, so anyway, this is how I'm going to be using it for the time being. Now, I have no doubt that I'm going to come up with something. I appreciate the fellas that suggested the pot sets that they did, and we're going to have to see what we can do about that. Just like I'm going to have to see if what I can do about getting this ferrocerium rod in here without having grief. And isn't that the way? You know, you try it one day and it drops right in, just like that. The problem, of course, is remembering how it was that you did it, that it works so well. Okay, turn these back in. I like to put the one over top of the matches so that they don't move. And there we are, we're back together again, right? So that's what I've decided to do for the interim. I've used it on the camp out. I used it instead of my Coleman 2-burner stove for part of the camp out. If I was only doing 1 pot for something, I use this. If I was cooking, doing more, then of course I resorted to using a Coleman 2-burner propane stove. Tuck them in. It pushes down with to the bottom of the notches on the side here, the windows, where there's also the ring around it that's bulging out. So that's a perfect fit. Now, the only thing I haven't done is I haven't brought my scrubber. It's in the house. Because you see, it does rattle a little bit because it's just fine there. Now, if the scrubber would fill in the space here, and that would make it a lot easier, but I didn't put it on. So anyway, this is what I've decided is going to be my interim, and you'll see it. Come on, get in there. From time to time. Whoops, just about forgot. Let's put the bail in there. There. And so we have it. Can you imagine that? The pot's even, it's going to be just great this way. Not the perfect thing, cook sets. We'll see what comes up working up time. Anyway, that's it for that. So we got that. That's solved. I think that problem is solved quite well. What have I found? Well, I actually enjoy using this thing in some instances more than my stoves, my other stoves. The butane, propane canister stoves. Got the Mighty Mo, got the MSR Pocket Rocket 2, and I've got, another one. There you go. See, slips your mind just like that. Anyway, this is convenient. I carry a 11 ounce fuel bottle, and I found that filling this thing, and I fill it, I do not fill it up to the bottom of the pour spout. You got to keep it down to leave an airspace there, and for the expansion room for gases. So that seems to work just perfectly. There's no mark on it that I fill to systematically. I used it for 2 days out camping. Did not refuel it. I still haven't refueled it. So it's working well. In the future, you'll see more of it, I have no doubt. And this week, we're back up tomorrow to 31 or 32 degrees centigrade, and for the rest of the week every day. The humidity is what becomes the killer when you got temperatures like that. Humidity gets me, makes me sick. So I just wimp out a little bit. Anyway, we're going to try and get out more. Once the construction is done is blocking the route into the woodlot that I use. They're constructing quite a heavy amount of construction and big pipes, some of them, for Trans-Canada Pipeline natural gas line. And so there's no getting in there, and I don't really want to have a fire anywhere near where somebody is doing construction, repairs or whatever, on a live pipeline, a natural gas pipeline. That pipeline has got gas running through it. And all it would take would be a leak running along the ground with gas vapors along the ground, and over to my camp stove 100 meters away, and boom, we would all see the end of our days real quickly. So we're going to let that go at that. Try and get out and do some other things though. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you joining me tonight. Have yourself a good one and enjoy. Hopefully that you will have as nice a night as I've got right now. The wind, I don't mind a bit. It keeps the mosquitoes away. Otherwise, I would have to be in the house. So with that, all the best. God's blessings to you, each one. Keep safe. Take care of each other. And those in your community too, if you can help. And a parting thought. Geocachers say, cash in, trash out. A lot of hikers' comment is, leave no trace that you've been there. Let's try and do that, shall we? That's my thought for today. Take care. Ted's clear.